Hello, I'm Karnak, and this is Star Wars Armada Explained. Today we're going to look at the Rebel Commander, General Madine. General Madine, if you look there in front of his name, you'll see a bullet point that signifies that he is unique, meaning that you can only bring one of him in your fleet. He is a Rebel Commander. If you look there at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the Rebel faction symbol. He is worth 30 points. And because he's a commander, you'll see, if you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the card, you'll see that there's no upgrade icon for him, because he can equip to any ship except for flotilla ships. So his card reads, while a friendly ship resolves a navigate command, now remember a navigation command, that's either a navigation dial, or a navigation token, or a navigation dial and token. So when you resolve a navigation command, if it's spent a navigation dial, it may increase one additional yaw point by 1. If it spent a navigation token, it may either change its speed or increase one yaw value by 1. He does have one clarification. It reads, when a friendly ship resolves a navigation command and it spends a navigation dial, it can use this effect to increase a yaw value by additional 1. Meaning, as you know, with navigation dials, they grant you a speed change of 1 and 1 yaw value click on any yaw joint that you want. Madine essentially gives you 2 yaw clicks that you can do, either both in the same yaw joint or 1 in each separate joint. To continue on, the rest of the text says, when a friendly ship equipped with Nav Team resolves the navigation command and spends a navigation token, Nav's Team effect is not cumulative with General Madine's effect. Meaning that if a ship has Nav Teams equipped and also is using General Madine, they don't stack, they don't double upon themselves. Essentially, General Madine counteracts Nav Team's effects. We'll get into that in just a little bit. I'll give that demonstration. So how does General Madine work? Let's walk through it. So in this example, we're going to use the MC-80 battle cruiser, or the Liberty version as it's known, because of all the capital ships the rebels field, this is the one that needs the most help with the yaw values. And General Madine comes with the MC-80 Liberties, and he can really demonstrate how these ships can work because of their weak yaw joints. So you can see there in their second joint, when they're going speed 2 or speed 3, they don't get a navigation click. So it really hurts them in terms of doing, maneuvers and turns. They really need to be taking navigation commands to offset that. One of those ways that you can attempt to do that is either by spamming navigation command or by spamming navigation command and taking General Madine. How does he work? So when a friendly ship resolves a navigation command, in this situation we're going to say, you know what, this MC-80 did reveal a navigation command, so he's triggering the effect of being able to use General Madine. Now remember, you have to trigger a navigation command, meaning that if you don't reveal a navigation dial, and if you do not spend a navigation token, or dial and token, so if you don't spend anything like that, you cannot use General Madine. He does not work unless you resolve a navigation command. I've had a few players like, oh yeah, he just works all the time. Like, no, he's not Moff Jerjerrod. Moff Jerjerrod is fantastic, but Madine, you must resolve navigation commands in order for him to work. Again, whether that's from a dial or from a token or both resolved together. So let's give an example. So let's say that this MC-80 is wanting to make a turn. Let's go ahead and put this on the right-hand side. And now, if he didn't have a navigation command, if he's going speed 3, that's the best turn he can make, which is hardly even a turn at all. It's like you're going straight and then kind of shuffling a little bit off to the side. So if you were to resolve a navigation command, and by using a dial, not only would you get the 1 extra click, you could do something like that with a normal navigation dial. With Madine, you get 1 extra click, so you could do something like that. Now that's definitely a much better turn we've got going on there with Madine. And if you did have a navigation token, well, if you spend that token, you can get another click, like so. Actually, I think I did one too many. Nope. Yeah, something like that. So double, double, and then the 1. Or if you wanted to do, again, something kind of like this, double, 1, and 2. So this is, you can only accomplish this again if you're spending a navigation dial and a navigation token to get essentially 3 yaw clicks on any joints that you want. So you can see there now it turns the Liberty into something that couldn't turn very well if you are resolving navigation commands in the navigation command using dial and token. You can see there you can turn like crazy. And this isn't just for the Liberty. You can use it on a variety of ships. The Home 1 versions, because they're so slow, they don't really benefit too much from Madine. But Hammerheads, CR90s, to some extent frigates, the assault frigates or the Nebulon Bs can benefit a little bit from them, but largely beneficial for the MC80s. So that's General Madine's effect. Now let's get into that card we're talking about before, that Nav Team. So Nav Team's effect is basically a card you can equip that grants part of the same ability that General Madine offers. That second part about if you spend a navigation token, you can either change your speed or increase your yaw value by 1. It's the same thing a Nav Team can do. The issue is that when you spend your token, you're choosing to resolve either General Madine's effect or you're choosing to resolve Nav Team's effect. You have to choose one of the cards. So they don't stack. So there is literally no point to ever take any ships with Nav Teams because you cannot resolve their effects together. You can only resolve one card effect or the other. That is what the FAQ is stating, is that you can't resolve both at the same time and get an exorbitant amount of yaw clicks. So pretty much, if you're running Madine, don't ever take Nav Teams. No point, because they don't work together. All right, let's move on to some other things. Entrapment Formation. So Entrapment Formation is something that when you spend a navigation token on a ship that has a fleet command equipped with this card, you can change a speed by 1. This does not resolve a navigation command effect. Okay, all this has done is that you are allowed to change your speed. This in and of itself is not resolving a navigation command. So no, it does not trigger General Madine's effect because General Madine requires that you resolve a navigation command effect, which Entrapment Formation does not qualify as. I want to make sure I was clarifying that. Same deal with engine techs. And whoop. Sorry, Vader, choking me out for my incompetence. Engine techs and Quantum Storm. Again, they require that you have executed a navigation command to start with before you can resolve the effects of this card. So again, if you don't use any navigation commands, you can't use these cards. So the question is, does General Madine affect either of these two cards? No, absolutely not. The reason for this, again, timing. So General Madine only works in your initial maneuver because you have to resolve a navigation command or dial in your initial maneuver in order to be able to even trigger engine techs and Quantum Storm. And since you have to trigger those effects during General Madine's turn, remember you can only resolve a command effect once in one ship activation, meaning that when you do utilize a navigation command, either the dial or token or dial and token, that's the time that you then use it for General Madine. That then allows you to activate either engine techs or Quantum Storm. But then since you cannot resolve any additional navigation command effects, even if you have a navigation token to spend, you can't spend them because you already had to activate the navigation command to even trigger those effects. So no, General Madine does not affect any maneuvers done with engine techs or Quantum Storm. I see that misplayed all the time. Happens all the time. Keep an eye out for it. And that's not from any maliciousness. It's just not people understanding timing and how commands are resolved and can only be resolved once. So again, General Madine does not work with the engine text maneuver or the Quantum Storm maneuver. So that's General Madine. Apologies again for the coughing. just recovering from being sick. So that's General Madine. As far as I'm aware, there's no other interactions or any other crazy things that go on. Of course, if you feel like there's anything different or something is wrong, please be sure to leave a comment about it. Let me know about it. I always try to make sure I'm presenting the most correct and up-to-date information. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I'll catch you next time. Oop, wrong button.